What's going on, YouTube? Happy Sunday morning. Let's go ahead and mute the desktop just so nothing plays. Happy Sunday morning. It was a late night. That's why I'm signing on here a little bit late. I'm tardy. My name is Bill. This is KO Bets. This is the Sunday Best Show. So basically, I was doing an NFL show every Sunday. The NFL season is almost to an end here. I want to keep it going on Sunday mornings. I feel like this is a really good opportunity to just invite on guests and talk about other sports that are going on. Maybe look ahead in the week, see if there's anything we like on the horizon as far as bets. Also on Friday nights, I do a UFC show, so it's totally dedicated to UFC. We'll briefly go over yesterday's event, but I usually like to do the reviews on the UFC show just to keep it on topic. So just real briefly, UFC 283, they were fighting in Brazil. On Moneyline predictions, we went 13-2. On the bets we track via Twitter, if you don't see it there in the upper right, or sorry, you see it where my mouse is hovering. If you follow me on Twitter, I always post my my picks here on Twitter. It's usually just like screen grabs, and I try to make it straightforward, so you know what you're risking, what the return is. Yeah, so for yesterday, we finished up 0.73 units. Had a couple of bets that I regretted, like Jamal Hill to win via knockout at -110. In retrospect, like his odds were at -140. Why didn't I just do that as my pick, as a single line pick? That would have cashed. The other one didn't. Josiane Nunez, Jalton Almeida, the inside the distance picks, those were rough. And then Gregory Rodriguez, that just kind of busted a couple of parlays there. We did hit one parlay at plus 119, which isn't terrific, but yeah, just given the fact we went 13-2 on moneyline predictions, the odds were like so crazy for the favorites in a lot of cases. Like Gregory Rodriguez and Worley Alves. Well, Gregory, that was a big upset. He was like minus 305 or something like that. That was a big upset. I was surprised to see that happen. And then chasing the Josiane Nunez finish. But you live and learn, When in doubt, sit it out. Don't chase them. But still walked away making some money. On the year, we're at a staggering 22-4 on moneyline predictions, and we're up 2.79 units. We're off next week for UFC, but we'll be back, and I think it's like 7 or 8 weeks in a row we'll have UFC shows, so it'll be a grind, but we'll get through it, and a couple of pay-per-views in there, so there should be hopefully some money-making opportunities. Today, though, we got NFL, and let's quickly just go over yesterday's games. We hit one, missed on the other. I took the Chiefs minus 9.5. Jags were able to cover. Good job of covering. The over-under was at 52.5 as well. I went over thinking, the Chiefs defense isn't very good. Jags, Trevor Lawrence actually played. Did he have any turnovers? I was watching UFC for the second half, so. One interception. Just what we saw in that first half versus the Chargers, I was like, you cannot give Patrick Mahomes those opportunities. Patrick was kind of banged up too during the game, has an ankle injury. But yeah, good job of the Jags covering the under hits, so congratulations if those were your bets. And the next game, the over hit, right? I think just barely, because the over was 45.5, so it barely hits. Or sorry, what was the over? Oh wow, the under hits, because the Giants didn't score. So, gosh, we went 1-3 on our predictions yesterday. Had a much better time last week. We were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We went 5-3 last week. 1-3 so far. Yikes. NFL is not my forte, I guess. Well, let's get into today's games. Today's games. I did ask a poll in the chat. Not sure if it got answered, but we'll close it out if it didn't. Oh, it did. Audience feels like the Bills are going to win the game. They like the Bills spread. Yeah, so the Bills are 5.5 point favorites at home. Over-unders at 48.5. Money line is obviously skewed towards the Bills. Let's take a look at the injury report. For the Bengals, their guard is out, their tackle is out. I thought they were missing 3 O-linemen. I mean, the Bengals, even against the Ravens last week, you could just see, I took the Bengals minus 8.5, and I think they only won by like 6 or 7. Yeah, 7. So, I mean, and you could see it. Joe Burrows just wasn't able to be comfortable back in the pocket. Didn't have much of a run attack last week either. And then for the Bills, they before the season they were my pick to win the Super Bowl. I'm just not like crazy impressed with the defense and how they're looking and performing. I know they're dealing with some injuries, obviously. I just feel like at this point, I'm really liking the Bengals to represent the AFC again. Providing they can keep Joe Burrows upright in this game, I just think their offense is so just so explosive with Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. If they can establish the run, I mean, unhealthy offensive line, that could definitely be an issue. I think the Bills could put up points against the Bengals. I don't think the Bengals are that great where they're gonna stop the Bills from scoring. The Bills' offense is very dynamic. I'm feeling the Cincinnati Bengals. I like their momentum right now. You can't really. It was way too early in the game to judge their last appearance against each other. It got canceled because of the Damar Hamlin incident. So, but I for some reason I'm just feeling Cincinnati today. Cincinnati 5.5, and I'm feeling them to beat the Bills. Bills did not look good against Skylar Moore or whatever his name is from the Dolphins. Who was that? Skylar Thompson. They didn't look great. And then the offense, I think Josh Allen had a couple of interceptions. Like, Allen hasn't been... The offense is definitely explosive. Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, Cole Beasley, I thought, was a little bit fluky last week. It was like his third game with the team. They did a decent job of running the ball, I guess. But ultimately, I don't know. I'm not loving how the Bills are playing as of late. Only beat the Dolphins with Skylar Thompson at QB by 3 points. I feel like I'm going to roll with Cincinnati plus 5.5. I'm going to roll with Cincinnati to win it outright. And then as far as the over-under at 48.5, I'm going over 48.5. I just think these offenses are too potent and too good to keep off the board regularly. So yeah, give me the over 48.5 points. The next game we've got on the slate is the Dallas Cowboys at San Francisco taking on the 49ers. Over-unders at 46.5. San Francisco is the slight favorite at home with 3.5 points on the spread. San Francisco, I mentioned, is the favorite at minus 195. Let's check the injury report out here. Jason Peters looks like he's done. How old is Jason Peters at this point? 41. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it's just kind of weird he's playing. Tyrone Smith is healthy, that's good. And then on the 49ers side of the ball, you're obviously, we know Garoppolo's out, you're rolling with Purdy at QB. This is an interesting game. Both teams can run the ball really effectively. Both teams have great defenses. I think this is an interesting game. I really do. I think we're going to have a game similar to Philly against the Giants. In this case, like, I think the Bengals and Bills will be really competitive. I think you're either going to look like a genius or an idiot on this game, whoever you pick. You pick the 49ers. I think they're going to blow out the Cowboys. You pick the Cowboys, I think they're going to blow out the 49ers. It'll just, come down to which defense is executing and which offense is not making the turnover mistakes and which offense is able to run the ball more effectively. I really like the 49ers schematically. I think they have an offense that just works no matter what, no matter who the QB is, who the running back is, who the wide receivers are. And they're healthy offensively. They went out and they traded for an elite running back, arguably the best running back in the league, in Christian McCaffrey. Purdy's playing great. He played fantastic last week. Who did they play? The Seahawks. It was a close first half, right? But he played fantastic. 330 yards, 3 touchdowns. Very efficient. Their wide receivers and weapons, Deebo Samuel, Kittle, Brandon Ayuk. Decent weapons, and then McCaffrey too out of the backfield's a threat. I like this Dallas team too. I just don't trust Dallas in every single. I don't know if Dallas is going to go on the road 3 weeks in a row, or 2 weeks in a row for that matter, and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I feel like we're going to get 49ers Eagles next week, and that's going to be an interesting game too, very close game. But I'm going to roll with the 49ers here. I'm taking them on the spread at -3.5. Over-unders at 46.5. I'm going to go under. Like I said, I think one team's going to kind of blow the other team out. And, you're either going to be left looking like a genius or an idiot at the end of this game. So I'm not going to lose too much sleep over it. Probably not going to wager too much on it. I kind of like just the idea of taking the Bengals and the over. Let's go ahead and look at the NBA games that are on the slate today, and then we'll sign off here pretty early. It's difficult this early in the morning. A lot of times the injury reports aren't totally accurate. But we've got some early games on the schedule. Christian Wood still hurt for the Mavericks. Let's see. Alright, I guess we'll do conference. So Dallas Mavericks are without Christian Wood. Maxi Kleber, 3-point shooter, kind of inconsequential. They've got enough shooters. And then it looks like for the Clippers, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard are healthy, which is good news for them. Clippers in their last 10, 3-7. I know they've been dealing with, Paul George being injured, Kawhi being injured. Kind of a weird team, though, to follow, right? And then the Dallas Mavericks, they haven't been terrific in their last stretch. Luka's having a great year, but just since Christian Wood has gone down, I think he's kind of important to really anchor and hold down that center position for them. I don't know. This game's got... See, the Clippers are slight underdogs. Over-unders at 223. I mean, I kind of like the under, maybe. Both teams, I think, can hang their hats on a really solid defense. That's the recipe to winning for both of these teams. Winning, and slowing the game down, being efficient offensively. I'd have to roll with the Clippers in this spot. Just think Paul George and Kawhi on the floor is going to be too much for Luka in Dallas, but don't know if I like really any of the bets. Maybe the under 223. New Orleans and Miami, checking the injury report. New Orleans they were streaking when they were healthy, right? But now they've got Zion out, Brandon Ingram still out. So I think I gotta go with the Heat in this spot. Just more healthy, 7-point favorites. That's a lot. Over-unders at 218, same deal. I'd say that's a low over-under. Here's their points per game. Miami Heat 108.8 points allowed, 108.7. 116, 113.7. Yeah, I think the Heat could slow this game down, but I don't know if I love that over-under spread at 218. And yeah, I think the Pelicans are just so dynamic when Zion's on the floor. Probably going to avoid that game. New York Knicks at Toronto taking on the Raptors. Let's check the injury report. Raptors haven't submitted it yet. See, this is what I mean. It just gets tough to make any predictions this early in the morning. Mitchell Robinson is out, which I do think makes a difference. He kind of plugs up the lane for the New York Knicks, and if Gary Trent and Van Fleet aren't draining threes, I think the Raptors are pretty reliant on paint scoring. So, yeah, I think that's a favorable thing for the Raptors. I'm going to roll with the Raptors here. Memphis, Phoenix. Phoenix has been banged up. I mean, if Ayton, Booker, CP3 are still out, you take Memphis all day. Let's see. Denver, OKC. I mean, if Nikola Jokic is out, Highland Bones, Jamal Murray, those are key players for the Denver Nuggets. If they're out, I could see. I would definitely roll with OKC. So I'm gonna just keep an eye on that, just because I do think OKC could even win that game outright. And then I would like the over, because OKC can't play defense, but they're really good offensively too. Brooklyn Nets at Golden State taking on the Warriors. Yeah, Durant's still out. Warriors are getting pretty healthy. Warriors are somehow just hanging out at 500 in the standings. That's kind of crazy. 5-5 in their last 10. The Nets are 5-5 as well. Kyrie had a huge night the other night. Last 10 at the Oracle, they're 6-4, and on the road, the Nets are 7-3. They were rolling. Guess I'd go with the Warriors in this spot. I think KD's extremely important to the offense of the Warriors. I don't know if Kyrie's and I don't think Kyrie's going to have it as efficient of a game. 48 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists or whatever he had on lights out shooting. Kyrie, I think he's one of the more entertaining players to watch just from a skill standpoint. He's not like popping off the screen as a his athleticism, but his control of the ball is it's pretty insane. And then the way he spins and counters on his attacks, he's really, really fun to watch. And if he's knocking down his shot and feeling good, he can carry an offense, carry a team. So he's a lot of fun, but I think the Warriors are going to be too much today. The Lakers at Portland taking on the Blazers. Is AD still out? I believe so. Yeah. LeBron's questionable, but I would expect him to play. They're just coming off of the win against Memphis, which is a great win for the Lakers. Lakers are hanging out. I think if AD comes back and they, start clicking offensively, they could definitely make some noise with some of these Western Conference teams struggling. I'm thinking the Jazz, Phoenix, depending on their health, Minnesota. They could definitely start to gain quite a bit of ground on them. And even the 3 seed, Sacramento Kings at 26 wins, Lakers at 21, there's definitely room to be aggressive with some trades. Lakers are on the road at Portland. Portland's been good, right, since Lillard came back. Last 10, 6-4. I think they had a bad losing streak in there. Yeah, they lost 8 in a row. Last 10, 3-7. They might have only won their last game. Oh, they lost their last game. They lost to the Sixers, lost to Denver, beat Dallas. Oh, maybe this is where it was, where I bet on... Yeah, this was last weekend, remember? Because I was like, oh yeah, we're going to take Dallas. Because they were the underdog. And they screwed us over. So yeah, Portland's been beatable lately. Very beatable. Minnesota. 113 only puts up 106 there. Kind of seems like they have to put up a lot of points to win games. Lakers can play some defense too, so I guess I'm going to roll with the Lakers, as silly as that sounds. And I'd say the under 239 would hit then. So yeah, it kind of depends on the circumstances with the the Denver starters for this OKC game. And same with Memphis. Definitely keep an eye on, if Phoenix is going to roll out Eaton, Chris Paul, and Booker magically today, I would expect that spread to drop significantly. But yeah, these are kind of the lines I like today. Yeah, I don't think there's any other asterisks we got to add, but so Memphis, we said OKC, we said, those are like the two. Those were like the two asterisk ones, and I like them both. I just, like I said, I think it's a we should definitely verify the status of an MVP candidate in Jokic, Jamal Murray, Bones Highland, and Phoenix's big three as well. So, I want to look at the NFL, maybe touchdown scorers for this week. Jamar Chase, I got an odds boost on, so I'll probably do something with him, honestly. I think I have some small, like, 2 touchdown score bets. Let's see. I kind of like Diggs to score a touchdown, but I kind of like Gabe Davis more. I just think especially when it comes to the playoffs, you can, like, Diggs is terrific, but you can like, I think if you start skewing a safety over to the side of Diggs, you really open up opportunities to take shots with Gabe Davis, and I really like him as a red zone threat. So I like Gabe Davis kind of as a touchdown scorer. I love Christian McCaffrey week in with that week out as a touchdown scorer. It's tough. I do think Zeke Elliott and Tony Pollard, if you could, like, if one of them was getting like 24, 25 carries in the goal line carries, like, yeah, I'd love that. But no, they're both getting like 9 to 15 carries a game, and they're being switched in and out depending on pass or rundowns, and it's just, they're getting too hard to predict. I think Zeke had a nice stretch where he was scoring pretty frequently to close out the year, but I also really like San Francisco's defense, and I think it might be tough to run the ball. Yeah, these are probably the touchdown scorers. Maybe we could risk less and win more on a guy like McCaffrey, right, with 2 touchdowns. I think that'd be fun. Let's just do a little bit on each one. Let's do 5. Right? $15, 5. Okay. Let's do the NFL again. Game lines. I'm gonna do this. Just parlaying the over in that. I'm gonna parlay San Fran and the under as well. I think I'm going to parlay the Lakers in the under as well. I like that. I like this pick a lot. And then maybe I'll mix in I'll do like a small yeah, that's fun. Alright, and that's all I'm going to do today. I'm going to just kind of sit it out and chillax. I was looking at the daily fantasy lineups as well, and can't really, I don't know. I'll probably do one for NFL, right? I don't know. I've been so shit with it. I'll do one $3 lineup here. I just think it makes sense to not spend money at the QB position. Yeah, so the over-unders, we saw the over-under was higher for Bengals against the Bills than it was for Dallas 49ers. So I think it's wise to, like in your daily fantasy lineups, take either the 49ers or Cowboys, and they're priced in that manner as well. I think that makes a lot of sense. And then I guess Dalton Schultz, like the two tight end combinations, kind of appealing to me right now, just because you can spend so little on them. But I also see Tyler Boyd here at 4,000 odds, so I might take Boyd, just as a. I mean, I wouldn't call him like a high floor player, but like the game log suggests, like he could catch a touchdown. I don't think he's gonna get 50 yards, but he gets some targets and he's very efficient, you know. Hilton's been getting, he got a couple looks last game. Beasley got in the end zone, which was surprising. So did that tight end. I don't know. Oh, Schultz. Schultz had a big week last week. But I wasn't thinking of him. It doesn't matter. So I think, I'm going to take... I'm going to put Boyd in here. I also like Gabe Davis. And then I'm really able to get that wide receiver one. Let's check the running backs. I think just given his usage, like McCaffrey's very appealing. I've got a decision to make here, so I'm going to look at my flex here. I think also given Diggs' usage, like Diggs is a very appealing draft pick to take, so we'll add him. And then at running back, we're left with 5,800. I kind of want to take Singletary or Cook. 10 attempts, 48 yards. Didn't he get in the end zone, or no? That was a couple weeks ago. I was kind of surprised. Didn't receptions? No, he didn't get in there. Singletary game log, 10 attempts, 48 yards, pretty much identical. 4.8, and 9.9. What happened? It says 12. Oh, I was clicking on the wrong guy. 12 attempts, 39 yards. Yeah, so I mean, Cook's been getting some look. Had 99 yards and a touchdown against the Bears. 9 attempts, 45 yards. Maybe save a little bit of money. Take Cook. I got 1,000 left over. Can I upgrade a wide receiver again? Maybe take out Gabe Davis. I could get... But then I've got like all those Bengals receivers. I'd almost rather... Here. This is going to be nasty. Let's see. Stephon Diggs. I'd rather get Debo in there. Debo was a great value last week. And now we're left with 3,900. Which we could... We can get Dawson Knox in this scenario, but we can't get Tyler Boyd. Which Knox had a touchdown last week, right? 3 for 5 receptions, had the touchdown, outscored. Did Gallup have a touchdown as well? Yeah, Gallup's been, wasn't good again in that Washington game, but he's been getting some opportunities and becoming more and more a part of the offense. I could see Gallup getting some opportunity with CeeDee Lamb drawing attention. I kind of like that. You're calling a Josh Allen a big Josh Allen rushing day today? Would it be possible? I don't think it'd be possible to work Josh Allen into this lineup. Yeah. Way too expensive. Joe Burrow, too expensive, which means, yeah, Brock is pretty much my only option given what I've taken. I think I'm going to go with Dawson Knox. I think just given the style of games we're going to see from these two teams, I don't have any Cowboys players, which kind of worries me, but it's also kind of boom or bust with the San Fran defense, the two San Fran playmakers, and then just filling it in with and the San Fran QB. So it's kind of boom or bust on San Fran, but we're doing it. We're entering it. That's going to be our lineup today. That's going to be the play. So big Josh Allen rushing day. You think that, Johnny? Let's see what we got. Here's our rushing props. What is this race to? Probably the first one to get to that. That seems kind of like something I don't want to do. So rushing yards, Josh Allen's at 46.5. I think Tom Brady had over under half a yard. He might have missed it. Rush attempts 7.5. Allen was running a lot last week at the end. I thought he was at least. Oh, only 4. I don't know. I feel like he could have a big rushing day. I'm looking at these stats though. I don't love what I'm seeing. 14.5. I kind of like that as like his longest rush. Player milestones. Sometimes you get it. So Josh Allen. See, I do something like that. Like, oh, he's going to have a huge rushing day. And then I do like I don't know. I'd maybe stretch for those plus 350 odds, but I can't find it in DraftKings. I wouldn't do like the 46.5 or whatever that was for minus 110. I'd rather risk less and try and win more on Allen. Yeah, why can't we just bet on that prop? Maybe it's a not a player parlay. Minus 2,000 odds. Are you kidding me? Game parlays, novelty props. Yeah, he's not in here because it'd be sick to like bet on him to have like over 100 rushing yards, right? And get crazy odds in it on it, but it looks like I'd have to do a same game parlay, which kind of turns me off to the prop altogether, the prop bet altogether. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm rolling with the Bengals though, Johnny. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm gonna sign off for today. We're just stalling a little bit. The show's already gone on way too long. Before I sign off, please subscribe to the channel, like the video. I appreciate your support. We'll be back next week, probably Sunday, because I don't think we'll have any Saturday games. If there are football games on Saturday, I'll sign on either Friday night or Saturday morning and make the picks, but no UFC. So have a great week ahead of you. Stay safe, and I will see you all next weekend. Peace.